Staying up to date with AI at work can be tough. On today's episode, Gemini makes note-taking easier, Copilot gets agent modes finally, Claude launches Cowork, and more. Let's jump in. All right, folks, in the Gemini world, let's start with better and easier note-taking in meetings. Now, if you're a Gemini user, you know that you can ask Gemini to take notes in your meeting, but you kind of have to do that onesie-twosies in terms of your meetings. Now there's a global setting that you can access, and for all of the meetings that you generate, by default, the take notes with meeting functionality can be turned on. So it's exciting, makes note-taking a little bit easier. In addition, they're rolling out a new functionality around suggested times in calendaring. So Gemini can look across the calendars of all your proposed attendees, find suggestions that make a little bit more sense. This rollout is active right now, so jump in and try those features. If you're not a Google Workspace user, this kind of functionality we should expect to see across different productivity suites soon if it isn't there already. All right, now let's go into the Copilot space. But before I do that, sometimes working with AI can feel like working with Zoltar, where you go and you put a quarter in and you get your answer and then you got to go back to your life. And that's what AI chatbots can kind of be. The push over the past year or so and going forward is all around getting AI more integrated into the workflow. Instead of you having to go get AI help and then go back to work, how does it integrate? Now, Microsoft talked about vibe working. We heard vibe coding before, if you know more about that. But vibe working, this idea that I can have AI kind of right next to me where I work. They launched this idea in September with the concept of agent mode. But this is why this channel is so helpful. In September, this functionality didn't exist, but now it's starting to roll out. So the update today is go look for agent mode. You'll find it in your document or in your Office experiences. So in Word, open up Copilot, and you're going to look for the tools function, and you can turn on agent mode. The distinction here is if you have the free version of Copilot for work, you have Copilot in Word, Excel, PowerPoint, but it can only recommend actions. It can't take them for you. Agent mode changes that, where if you enact agent mode, the AI tool will do what you ask it to do in your file. So agent mode there, it exists in Excel as well. I used it earlier to create this sample data that you see here. I turned on agent mode. I said create sample data. It made the table, checked its work. All good things, right? You will notice, however, it is missing from PowerPoint. PowerPoint is a tricky place for AI right now. Still is. Has been for a long time. It doesn't exist here. But you will notice if you go to the Microsoft 365 Copilot home experience and you're just chatting, if you have the advanced Microsoft 365 Copilot license and you have the Frontier mode turned on, you get the Frontier kind of modes of these tools, and that's where you can access PowerPoint. These agent tools are focused on creating the documents or the file types as specified. So Word documents, Excel workbooks, and PowerPoint files. I've already ran the PowerPoint one here, and this is what it kind of looks like. You give it a prompt, it'll ask you some follow-up questions, these presentation options you can see grayed out, but it asks me these options, and then it goes to work. On the right-hand side, it creates that document, gives me a preview, and then lets me jump into PowerPoint. So some powerful improvements here where AI is kind of getting a little bit more into my work, and Microsoft is finally realizing what they promised a few months ago with this agent mode. So get in, jump in, try it. Now from OpenAI, we're hearing they've launched the new Codex app. Now for you and I as knowledge workers, we might not do a lot of coding, but here's why this update is relevant to us. As the big AI labs start creating these sort of applications where AI is in the forefront, these applications can start to do a lot of automation and integration into our work. We're seeing that and have heard about that from a tool like Claude Code. Codex app is OpenAI's kind of alternative and competitor to Claude Code from Anthropic. Claude has responded by introducing this tool called Cowork, which is now more in our zone. We could use tools like the Codex app or Claude Code, if we really wanted to put in the effort to get it to automate more of our work and be able to do a lot of really interesting things. But Cowork is built for knowledge workers like you and I. I mention these tools not because we can dive into them today, but it's good to have our eyes and ears open to some of these new applications where these applications are bringing AI more into our work. Less Zoltar, more direct assistant right where I need it when I need it. So a tool like Cowork or even Claude Code or Codex is able to bring AI functions right into the everyday workflow because it can span different applications and tools and be right there with us. So keep an eye out on these sort of things. This is the stuff we're going to talk more about in the future, but that's the update for today. New stuff across all of our big AI providers. Now it's your turn to go jump in and get AI working at work.